Hey everybody, Tim here with tonight's episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 17, Sins of the Father. If you guys like Klingon episodes, this is probably one of the best ones. I feel like this is probably the one that's the most steeped in Klingon culture. I've mentioned before, throughout The Next Generation, we get more and more of that Klingon culture, and we learn more and more about just the way they do things. We got a pretty good sense of it if you go back to Season 2, Episode 8, The Matter of Honor. That's the one where Riker is the commander on a Klingon vessel. This is almost... Well, it's not even really a sequel episode, but they mention that one. It's kind of the foil of that episode, where now we get a Klingon commander aboard the Enterprise, aboard a Federation. It's kind of an exchange program. And it's kind of an interesting episode. So it turns out that Commander Kurn is, who's played by the amazing Tony Todd, like Candyman and stuff, Final Destination, is the younger brother to Commander Worf, or I think he's still Lieutenant. He's the younger brother to Worf. So we know that Worf's parents were killed at the Romulan attack on Khitomer, and so we start learning a little bit more about this. So this is Tony Todd's first appearance as Kurn. We see him again in like the Redemption two-parter, and then he even shows up in Deep Space Nine after Worf joins the series. So Kurn gets here, and he basically says, our father is being charged with like being a traitor, that he gave the codes to Khitomer to the Romulan vessel. So Worf has to go to the Klingon homeworld, which at this point it's still kind of unnamed. Most of us fans know it's Konos. But so they have to go to the Klingon homeworld and basically go to trial. And it's interesting. I mean, this is The Next Generation. It is a TV show. So the trial's basically just this little bitty set and people just yelling at each other. It's very different when the sixth movie, The Final Frontier, comes out a few years later. Like, it's not even out yet, where it's this massive courtroom and Michael Dorn is the lawyer because he's Worf's great-grandfather or whatever. But so this is the first time we've been to the Klingon homeworld and seen a Klingon trial. So it's a little interesting to see those first few steps before we get to that sixth movie. But overall, it's a decent episode. It's a little sad there towards the end. It's interesting because Worf says, "Today is a good day to die," which is almost becomes his catchphrase throughout the series, kind of like... if you go back to The Wrath of Khan, revenge is a dish best served cold. Today is a good day to die becomes another Klingon proverb. And it's a little bittersweet because you get to the end and the councilman of the Klingon homeworld basically says, like, we know that Mogh didn't do what we're charging you of, but there's nothing we can do because we have to uphold the pride of the Empire. And so Worf decides to basically agree that his father was a traitor to save his life and Kurn's life. So it's really bittersweet. And they decide to keep Kurn's heritage a secret because nobody knows that Kurn is also a son of Mogh. So it's really bittersweet there towards the end. And we'll revisit this later on when Worf finally says enough is enough. It's, like I said, it's a really interesting episode for those who like the Klingon culture and the Klingon homeworld. For those who have seen this one, do you guys enjoy it? Do you think this is a big step forward like I do? What do you guys think? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time for Allegiance.